Hi, and welcome to the Outboard Dad channel, where we're here to help you have a better boating experience. We're going to talk today about outboard motors, purchases, what we should buy, what we shouldn't buy. You'll see a lot of videos out there on what not to buy, but I want to know why not to buy it. Don't just tell me, don't buy this one, problems, COVID motors, problems. Well, what were the problems? I'm a mechanic, so I want to know the problems so I can fix it, and maybe it can last longer. So yeah, there's problems with lots of motors that are out there. So please like, subscribe, send me any comments that you have. But today I just want to talk a little bit about the different motors. If you watch any of my videos, we have this Mercury here. It's a it's a 2001 150 horsepower carbureted motor. I've heard people say don't buy any of the carbureted motors because you have nothing but problems with them. This one ran for 23 years, 24 years, so I think we can get it running again, and I'm going to. Maybe some say they shouldn't. What other options do you have? So we'll just take a little look around the shop here and see some options that I have going on right now. So I have this 4-stroke motor here. Looks very clean. Picked it up. Somebody had done a repower on their boat and just put a new motor on. They got water into this engine. Apparently there's an issue. I did some research where the head can leak water into the engine. I'm going to put some pressure tests on it. I'm going to learn a little bit more about it and see if we can get this motor back going again. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But I don't condemn a whole motor until we do some evaluation and see if it's something that can be repaired. So 4-stroke motors have some other issues as well. The midsections where the exhaust is can corrode very quickly. As a matter of fact, Yamaha had a problem 2004, I believe, to 2008. I think it was mostly the 225s and 250s, but some of their motors had corrosion there very badly. But they came out with a replacement part for that that's coated differently. It's a different formulation of aluminum, and it lasts longer. And I know guys that have made that repair and run their motors for many years after that. So again, I want to know why we're condemning certain motors. Now, Evinrude Ficht motors, that's usually the number one that's there. I get it. They had a lot of problems. They had a lot of design issues. They burnt a lot of oil where they were supposed to burn more efficient because it was direct injection. So I could see that. Now, I also know some guys who have Evinrude Ficht motors that have run them for 20 years. Now, when they start having too many problems with them, they kind of get away from them a little quicker than they would. They probably would not do a full rebuild like we're doing on that Mercury. So I could understand that. So what are you stuck with? What do you have on your boat right now? Do you want to just go ahead and replace everything, or is it something you can work with? And should you work with it? So then let's look at another motor we have here. So I have a nice little Johnson V6 150 horsepower motor. It's a 1995, runs great. Guy repowered with a 4-stroke, did a compression check on it. It's within about 7-8% between the cylinders. We want to make sure we're below, or 10% is where we want to be, below 10%. So why wouldn't you run that motor again? If you can pick it up at a decent price and it's a good running motor, it's got a new water pump in it. They did have VRO failures for some of these. I know some guys who just eliminate the VRO and mix it in the tank. Yeah, it smokes a little more. They probably foul spark plugs a little quicker, but again, they keep running their motors. So what is it about the motor that you're condemning first before you condemn it? Also, do you already own it, or are you going out to buy it right now? If you're going out to buy it, then you're going to be a little more picky. That I'm probably going to stay away from a Ficht. Maybe the Force motors that are a little older, I'm going to stay away from. A little harder to get parts. When you look at the design of those engines, they're carbureted motors, most of the older ones that are out there. I've seen 3 cylinders with 1 carburetor on some of those Force, and they run. They don't have as much power as some of the other ones, and they're a little difficult to get parts. Are you stuck with one that you're using right now that has good compression and you want to keep it going? That's one thing, right? But if it's a motor you're looking to purchase, maybe you just want to not invest money in that, or maybe you got someone who's almost giving it away because they don't want it, and you can get it running and get out on the water. So let's look at another one. So this is a very popular motor here. This one is a 1999 Ox66 250 horse Yamaha. I rebuilt this motor 10 years ago, still running strong. He had a little knock noise. I think I know where the knock came from as we were messing with the power tilt and trim. I found that the tilt tube bushings are completely worn out, and when I was rocking it back and forth, you could hear it clunk back and forth. So I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. We're going to check the top end too, just to be sure. We did a compression check on this. So I know some guys that would never rebuild these. Bottom cylinder always fails. Those things, the bottom cylinder always fails on those things. Well, the first rebuild on this, the bottom cylinder failed. And we found out why, because there was water in the gentleman's fuel. So again, after that, and we did a new motor and did a nice break-in on it, ran for 10 years. He also went to 4-stroke. Smooth running engine, doesn't have the smoke anymore. So great, there's great options out there. But does that mean his 4-stroke's gonna last him another 10 years? It doesn't. You just don't know until you get out there and run them and you learn about your motors. So Chrysler motors, some older motors that are out there as well. I know guys that have had them on their little John boats, those small motors, running them for years. Now it's getting a little tougher to find parts, but you have to ask yourself, how far are you going to run those motors if they were made in the 60s or the 70s? And can you roll back in? How far are you going out? Do you really need the motor to get back in? Or is it just nice to have that power there? So please like, subscribe, send me any comments you have. And also, I have a used outboard motor buying guide free for my subscribers right now until October 13th. It's a $20 value on Amazon, so we can get that to you in an electronic form. Goes over all the tests that I have performed that have been taught to me over the years to learn what is the best motor that you can buy for your money. Now, does that mean you're going to have a problem-free used motor? No, it doesn't. But you're going to have less problems when you learn what you need to look for. So again, this is Keith McGowan, the Outboard Dad, here to help you have a better boating experience. Please like, subscribe, send me any comments that you have. There's a lot of opinions out there of what motor you should have or shouldn't have. And a lot of guys maybe had a bad motor and that one was a dud that they got. Sometimes you get motors you shouldn't mess with anymore and you spend too much on them. It's going to happen from time to time, but that doesn't mean you can't bring another motor back to life as well. And the more motors you learn to work on and work with, the more success you're going to have. Have a great day.